Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Monday, May 19th, and we have, against all odds, a nice little bull market running here. A bull market day, I had to say. Uh, we started off this morning looking to sell strength for rotations back down, given that overnight weakness we had since that Moody's downgrade. And I mean, as I said this morning, it felt very much like a political thing that you waited all the way to the 4 years of Biden's crazy spending to start downgrading us right now. So it felt a bit odd. However, the market is shrugging that off, and you can see they took off. They took out that 59.25. That was the last level to get short against. Otherwise, it went back range bound. And above that 39 to 40, we said start leaning in on the long side. And that was no joke. They took it higher and then took out the high of extended to the upside. That was the last thing I really expected. So technically, I thought we were going to be in that stage two today, but we are back in stage one. So we are still extending to the upside. How crazy is this, right? So, yeah, climbing that wall of worries against all the odds, they start taking this higher. So, if they can close above this area, the 59.46s, I would start off on the long side, looking to buy weakness. And depending when they close, it's going to either buy against that the 56s and 55s, the 45s down to the 35 to 40s here for rotations back up. So that's kind of the dynamic. On the way up, not going to be super aggressive on the short side. We are still extending, so it could be short up here against in the 75s. Could be one here, that new edge at 85s. We'll see where they end up closing. But I'm telling you, that was a pretty freaking strong move today to the upside, and that's very much more than I expected it to be. So far, one trade on the ES that was earlier on, a small three-point trade, and I haven't done it for one contract. I haven't done anything else on the ES. News though for tomorrow before we keep going, nada. So no news really to drive the market tomorrow. We got a bunch of Fed speakers at 9. We have two of them, Barkin and Bostic, and then we have at 1 o'clock we have Alberto something, Fed speaker. Never heard of him. However, so we've got Fed speakers, but not any news tomorrow, so to drive the market. What you looking at the Nasdaq and the bonds? I did take a few trades on the Nasdaq today. They were the last one I took was just recently. I took one on the way up here, a little pullback, and then that's one. That's the last update. And I remember I said, "What the heck happened?" They popped and then right back down again. So quick. This bar hadn't even formed before I was stopped out. That's how crazy that was. So I got 3 points. I was up 17, and then on the way down here, I actually got short. When it starts doing like this, starts pulling down like this, a lot of the times in the afternoon you get the rotation back to the mode or the mean, a pretty good rotation to the downside. It may still happen. Right now we had like a little grind to the upside going on, and I got short on the second attempt to take it higher. Repaired it once. I had my stop outside that rotation, fairly big stop, but still enough for this to hold on. And I sat in that thing for a couple of hours, and I went to break even, and then some I got out of it. I figured like it's not quite a great trade location on that one. But I managed to get another 50, 20 bucks out of it or so, or 25 bucks out of it. So I'm up 42 now on those 5 contracts. And then they, as you can tell, they took just a little bit lower, then they did one more push to the upside. And this one here was most likely going to hit my stop. So that would have been really a gnarly thing if I tried to sit through this for a while. But anyway, so that worked out. But so 42 bucks on 5 contracts, and now they finally heading back down again. Time to take it lower. And here's the key area. So if they're going to take it lower, you'll see start extending past this low. I think they just stay on the short side at that point. But I would still, if they hold this line and start trading, they can certainly start trading higher. It just depends really how the last half hour is going to turn out. But right now it looks like they're trying to back off, and I would stay pretty much range, but I'll still lean towards the long side. They could be a long trade down here against the 450, or it's not going to be anymore. That third time to the level, I would be not as aggressive on buying it. But right now, if you start seeing continuation or a spot here, could be a spot to try to get long if they start dipping a little bit and see if they can take it out. But then you can get good trade location and good, put your stop on the right side of that rotation if that happens. But we'll see. It's anyone's guess where they're going to go. So far, it feels very much like they're trying to hold on to the gains, but a lot of stuff happened in those last 10 minutes. So watch for that. But I would start out on the long side. If they close below that 370s, I'll take off the long bias. Otherwise, I'm going to be looking to buy against the Going to be a little bit higher here, but the 420s and the 370s for rotations back up. On the bond side of things, look at that straight shot to the upside. That's pretty freaking nice. I should have taken a bond trade early on this morning. That would have been good. However, the trade I was looking for was probably it was the failure to take out the 112, 15, 16, I think, or maybe it was 14, 15. I'll have this check. But you can see here how the bond market, they were way down here, and this morning on the news on the Moody downgrade, and now they pretty much worked themselves all the way back up again. So ignoring the news, they I think everyone sees the whole thing as very political and ignores it. So, but the bonds trade up on the long side to get started, to see if they can get back up to the 113.10s, maybe even back to the 114s. So that's where we are on that guy. Yeah, so that's the bonds and the NASDAQ. Looking at oil and gold to wrap it up. And not a whole lot to say about those two, actually. The gold, as you can see, has been stuck in that range around 32.30. So starting off range bound on gold is going to extend the edges. It's going to be one here up at the 32.47s, down here at the 32.20s. So that's the range. It's going to be one here at the 32.38s and one right here where we are at 28. So a couple of levels up, couple of levels down. Just start off range bound. And on oil, yeah, same story there. Start off range bound on oil and see how far they can take it. I'll see if they're going to try to break in one direction, but right now range bound trading on that one. So all I had today was one trade on the ES for $15 and one trade on three trades, 5 round turns on the NASDAQ for 42. So that's kind of where we are. Alrighty, guys, we'll wrap it there. But so watch the last 10 minutes to see if they're going to be pulling that thing back or not. But right now, if they hold on to here, we're going to start off on the long side and see how far they can take it. Alrighty, we'll wrap it there, guys, and I'll see you back at bright and early in the morning. You guys have a great evening. Right, guys, later.